Yeah, okay. So tonight we've been looking at formatting for variables. We did a little work for writing some Boolean logic, some if statements and else to make decisions. And we did some work to do format changes. So changing both the prefix string and the actual numerical formatting. Mike's got a question. Can you show how to change the dwell format? Sure. So under tool change, NC output variable formats, one of the options we should have is dwell. So FMT P11 and then DWELL is the variable. So format statement number 11 is decimal 3 place. So if I go into my drill and I want to output a 2-second dwell at the bottom, that changes a couple of things. So when I output it, I get a G82. And I get the G82 change because in pdrill, we call pdrill common B, which is the can drill cycle common call before. This one does it a little differently. So SG drill is going to be what's outputting G81 or G82. And that gets set by DRL GSEL, drill G select. And if I search for it, you'll notice that that nothing is found besides DRLGSEL. So unfortunately, the logic that sets DRLGSEL is in the binned portion of the post. And you can see that we have dwell and no dwell for each of the different canned cycle values. So drill cycle 0 is drill, PEC is 1, chip break is 2, tap is 3, and so on. So that we don't get to change. We can change the string that comes out, but the drill G select variable gets set in the binned portion. But the other thing that we get here is P 2.0. So that right now is our 2-second dwell. It goes up to 3 decimal places. So we'll enter 2.1234566, post it, and we get 2.123 because in the variables for the formatting, this is where what we've assigned to dwell. So format statement 11 decimal absolute 3 place. Now, let's say, for example, that a 1-second dwell on our machine was actually P1000. So if you wanted to do a 1.5-second dwell, it'd be P1500. So in that case, we need a new format statement for dwell. Instead of changing 11, because there could be other variables that also use format statement number 11, I'm going to add another one. So we'll add FS2 25. And in this case, we're going to do 1 space 3. Actually, the 0 space 3. 0 space 3. T for trailing. So this is actually integer. Force 3 trailing. So with this style of formatting where it can be any integer digit, but we force 3 trailing zeros, we also leave a space here so that we get no decimal point. So I'm going to save that. We're going to go back and find the dwell variable, and we're going to assign it to 25. And when we assign it 25 and we now output the same thing, (2.123456) dwell is now P 2123 because there's no decimal point and there's 3 trailing zeros. So if I wanted a 2-second dwell, make it 2.0, regen repost, and I should get 2000. Which I do. Okay? So if it was, you know, a 1-second dwell was 100, just make it 2 trailing decimal places instead of 3. And the secret is, if you don't want the decimal, you put a space character in there. A 0 value represents any number. So we can have any number of integer digits, and we get 3 trailing decimal digits, but we don't get the decimal point. So 1.0 is P1000, 2.5 is 2500. You know, if I wanted a 2, let's do this. If I wanted a 1.6.1, you know, a 1.611 second dwell, I enter the number and it outputs it in that integer format with 3 trailing decimals. Good question. For sure. For sure. We got just a couple more minutes. Let's do one more for the fun of it. Yep. Need to create your own for the kind of formatting you want. Exactly. So there's some predefined ones by default, but you know, one with a certain number of trailing that doesn't exist. You got to create your own. Absolutely. So let's do this. Let's say, for example, that rather than outputting a defined dwell period, that we actually want to use a variable to reference to output, you know, what that variable is. That way we can set the variable on the control and we can change the number at the control and vary the dwell that way. So I'm going to type this in as the variable number. And okay, so we do the formatting for the dwell here. We do the rounding. And then we output the dwell here. Okay, so what we're going to do, this is in P drill common B. The ampersand here basically formats the dwell. So it takes it and it rounds it to whatever the current rounding value is. And what we're going to do is create our if command ahead of it. So we're going to say if dwell is greater than 100. Actually, we're going to do greater than 99 because the local common variables start with 100. So, and if you're going to dwell more than 99 seconds, that's kind of a long dwell, so it's highly unlikely you're going to want to dwell that long. So we're going to say anything above 99, we're going to treat this as a variable number instead of an actual dwell time. So what we'll do here is if it's greater than 99, we'll do our set of open and close braces so that we can get a bunch of different stuff in here. And we're going to do this. So we're going to say result equals new address, and I'm going to put in a string of P open bracket pound, and that's going to be applied to the dwell variable. We're going to do a new format statement. Haven't assigned it yet. Actually, it's going to be format statement number 4, which is integer. So 514 is going to become 514. And we're going to do result equals new suffix, NWSUFX. And the suffix we're going to put on is a closed square bracket. So what we're doing is we're changing the formatting for the front of the variable with new address. We're changing the format statement number with new FS, and we're changing the end characters on the variable with new suffix. Else, we want to go back to the regular dwell formatting. So the regular dwell formatting was result equals new address, and that address is just P. So we assign dwell the P address. Do new FS, and it's format statement number 25, I believe. And we're going to do new suffix. And I can use s blank because there's already a variable called s blank that's an empty string. But we've been just using string literal, so I'll continue with that trend here. So basically, if dwell's over 99, we're going to do this formatting style. And if it's anything else, so less than 99 basically, so 0 through 99, then we're going to do the regular style of formatting for dwell. And so now, by setting my dwell value to 514 here, now my dwell references a variable number on the control. And if I set it back to a 2-second dwell, or let's do a 10-second dwell. Anything less than 99 will be interpreted as an actual seconds value. Okay, so now 10 seconds gives me P 10,000. Cool. Well, I think we did some good work tonight. Hopefully it was instructive. And we're going to go ahead and wrap up class for tonight. We'll do our typical office hours on Saturday. And Wing will be going through feed options on your horizontal. So we'll try and get that wrapped up. For sure, man. Yeah, for sure, guys. And then I believe Mike was next. And we're going to do some work on his Trunnion. And Steven had a question about G68.2. So we'll try and hit that on Saturday. And if, again, it's, first come, first serve. So if we don't hit that this Saturday, we'll be sure to hit it next Saturday. And that actually may be better anyway, Steven, because we're going to be doing Top Map and G68.2 next Thursday in class. And then we'll do yours, example of it, G68.2. We'll do that on the Saturday for office hours. So, cool. All right. Thank you, everybody. It's been a pleasure as always, and I'm going to wrap up the recording for